We have old people. I look at old people. There's two types. There's the old people that are just so happy and jolly. I'm like, okay, you lived a good life. But then you have the old people that are just cranky. And it's like, nah, you at some point in your life you got fucked over because there's no reason for you to be this fucking miserable at this old age.
Right.
You know?
Some people who have erectile dysfunction, but they were teenagers when they got it. It's a bad time to live that kind of life.
That's crazy.
I'd hate that. You called me limpy or something like that. Life's not too good.
Whoa.
Yeah, hey, you can't. Doesn't get up there. What you gonna do? You know.
How does that work? It's just the blood doesn't flow? You have bad blood flow?
I have no clue, but I don't want to find out.
Interesting. Because so here's the thing. I've taken the erectile dysfunction medication. I didn't need it.
Erectile dysfunction medication? Is it
like Viagra?
Yeah. Oh, why didn't you just say Viagra?
No, because now there's like Cialis and Blue Chew and like they have like
right.
It's like no longer just Viagra. Viagra was the main brand.
There's a bunch. Yeah, there's a bunch.
And
there's a bunch.
I took it, but like that's just for like extra. That's for like you gotta lay it down. You know, that's when
they're supposed to give it extra pump.
Yeah, that's that like you know when you're a kid. Because when I was a kid, I would always listen to like those Chris Brown songs.
Yeah. I'm
like, when I lose my virginity, I'm gonna be like that, right? But then I lost my virginity. It was like 3 minutes. And I'm like, how does Chris Brown do that? So as an adult, you start to learn. And I'm like, some days, obviously, you can have regular sex, or there's some days where it's like, pop out the Viagra, let's do this. It's like a pre-workout. It's like a pre-workout, but the workout is sex.
So who gets the pill? You or her? And you say pop out the Viagra. Who goes to get the pill? Oh, you would go get the pill. All right, fair enough. You know, they do have women's pills too. There's
women's
like
Viagra?
Well, no, I think it's like a stimulant to get them more into
like that Rhino gas station pill?
Something like that. I think it's what do you call it? Pussycat pill? Something like that.
The gas station pill?
Somebody told me 2 weeks ago. I'm like, what? I ain't nobody doing that.
Listen, as someone who owns a supplement company, I can tell you those are just scams.
Yeah, it's either placebos or it'll make you sterile.
But Viagra actually just gets your blood flow going.
Right.
That's like used to be prescription.
Now everything's over the counter. Anybody can go and get it.
You know, like how does that? Because even sometimes with that, I'd be like, I don't really understand how this works with people. I don't understand how people don't get hard. It's weird. It's just fucking like you can't handle blood flow. Like you can't control your blood flow. What's going on here?
Maybe I don't know. You could say that to people with asthma. You can't breathe without assistance.
Yeah, it's wild.
But it makes you wonder because even what it's a shame that you had to deal with that 3 minutes. That's I had a joke about that when I was doing stand-up. I think I called it a commercial dick. That's what it was.
Commercial dick? What does that mean?
3 minutes. Like I think you're watching a show, 3 minutes, it's a commercial. You come back, commercial dick.
Got it.
Yeah, one of my worst session I've ever had when I engaged in coital behavior. That's some commercial dick. Never heard back from a 2-week one-night stand.
How old are you?
Very shame. This was 24. I think I was 24 at the time.
How old are you now?
29. 29. Yeah, I think about it still, because you never want to have a bad performance that's out there, and I think it was just because I didn't have enough time.
You know what's crazy? Sometimes maybe I'm a fucking asshole. Sometimes I don't care. Sometimes I'll just like nut quickly, and I'll give 0 fucks.
It depends on the because
what's that meme? The meme is like she's like, did you just come? Yeah, bitch, I came to my senses. Get out.
Well, yeah. What do you know? Hey, it happens. It happens. Everybody has their moment of selfishness. I think because ultimately for me, it's like a burden of performance. I guess for me,
there's actually a story. There was one girl one time. I was young. I was really young. I was like 21, and she was just like holding off. Like she was really just not letting me sleep with her. And I had to go on like I want to say like 7 or 8 dates. At some point I was so far in, and I already knew I knew she was interested in me because like she would kiss me and like we would make out. We never had sex, but I was so far in that I'm like, fuck, if I give up now, I'm never gonna sleep with this girl. So I have to just play the long game.
Yeah, make it.
So we're there. Like this was like 8 or 9 dates, bro. And I remember when I finally got to sleep with her, I didn't even want it anymore. At some point I didn't even want it, but I was like, I just need to do this to fucking not waste my time. I'm like too invested in this already. I gotta get it done. So I remember it was one of those commercial dick moments. But after that, I was like, all right, cool, I'm done. I never talked to her ever again. Ever again.
Did she try to talk to you?
Yeah, 100%. But
Damn.
I was just kind of like, man, you made me wait all that time. Like okay. It's like you get a meal, nice meal, smells good. You're like, this smells amazing. I can't wait to enjoy this fucking meal. It's gonna be so good. But it's sitting there, and then it's starting to get cold, and the aroma's gone, it's not as fresh anymore, and you're kind of like, man, I wanted this 20 minutes ago, I wanted this 8 dates ago, I don't want this fucking meal no more.
Fair enough, that happens. That happens.
But I feel like it's a normal thing. I feel like guys.
Oh yeah, no, it's completely normal. It's like moments in which you have to strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of times in which like you could try to prolong something, but then the longer that you prolong, it's like I get to know you a bit more, and I don't really like you as much as I did.
Yeah.
So I was much more invested before. Like had we done this then I could have maybe tolerated, the type of person that you are after the fact. But then now that I waited this long, I'm only here for the sex.
Right.
The sex is done. Well, got what I needed. Go by my day.
So now that we talk about sex, what do you think NPCs, like with the NPCs, how do their sex lives go?
How are we choosing who's an NPC?
Yeah, I think that's how we can determine.
NPCs, I think when I look at NPCs, I'm like, you are not outstanding at all. You have zero distinguishing features. I look at you, I love my vocabulary is getting better talking to you, but when you look at an NPC, they have no distinguishing features, they're not extraordinary at all, they're literally completely normal. And you're like, what makes you special? If I was a person, let's say it's a girl, right? Or girls, it's harder with girls because guys go based off looks, but let's say it's a guy, he has no distinguishing features. I look at a guy and I'm like, why would a girl ever choose you? That's, in my opinion, that's what an NPC is. It's like, and they have no like spunk. Because here's the thing, if a guy has like some like flavor to him, like he could be broke, doesn't have, like when I say NPC, I'm not talking about broke people, I'm not talking about like fat people. I'm talking about people that are like are those things, but they also have no personality on top of it.
Right. It's like a blank character. It's like a created character with no attributes.
Yeah, so like these types of people, and like you talk to them and they're boring. When I think NPC, that's what I think.
Okay.
So
got you.
With these types of people, are they? How does their sex life go? Like, what does that look like? How do they date?
It's
How do they
on
date?
par with the way that they live their life.
How do they date? What are those dates like?
NPC-ish.
Like, what is that? Like, what is an NPC date though? Give me. All right. We can all brainstorm.
I think
NPC dates
as bait, because you see how the conversation revolved around dating seems very redundant.
Yeah.
Like when people talk about whether it be like body count,
right,
or whatever the case may be, and everything is kind of just laid out to where anybody who's been on dates, anybody who's gone out,
like,
anybody, you're like, I would never, like on a consistent, or I should say you perform at a higher level, you would never have those kinds of conversations. So I would assume that's probably what their sex life may be. It's just a very circular type of conversation, date, performance in the bedroom. I think it's just, everything's just very complacent. Because there's, what is it for women? Like 71% don't orgasm or something like that. I'd assume they're sleeping with NPCs.
So that's the statistic we use to track NPCs.
Maybe.
71% of...
Hey, did your girl come? No? NPC. That must be what you are.
Hey man, I've been an NPC a couple times in my day, you feel me?
Hey, not everybody's gonna shoot 100% from the field. You gotta just make sure that you either...
you know what's funny? It's funny we talk about this because a lot of guys be like, man, I'll lay it down. I'm laying down. I'm like, you obviously don't get pussy. Yeah. Because if you did, you would not be talking like, man, I'll lay it down every time. Yeah. Every time I'm like, bro.
You should never vouch for yourself.
Yeah.
Your partner should vouch.
You should have some referral.